My name is Ty Penny, and I am talking here today about the Afterpay app. It is an app that you can pay with installments of four, which helps people that are a little bit more on a budget and able to, purchase items without having to pay upfront cost. I ended up paying for a full amount of an iWatch from Best Buy, and it said it was never paid on Best Buy's end, but yet it showed that it was paid on Afterpay's end. No resolution has happened, and nothing has come from it. I've been a member of Afterpay since probably 2018, maybe 2019. And for anybody who's not familiar with what Afterpay is, it's one of those apps that you're able to make payments on anything that they are accompanied with, where you can make payments of installments of four. So if you wanted to buy, I don't know, for off the top of my head, say you wanted to buy a new TV and it's like $600, and they will help you based on credit history, rating, and all that stuff, and figure out what your initial credit balance is that you're able to use. And, so that instead of paying the 600 up front would be, if I chose the four payments, it would come up to like 150 a month. So I felt like it was a great app for certain things. There were some purchases that I felt like I needed, but I couldn't afford at the moment. But if I was able to go on a price plan, and it's every 2 weeks that they make you pay, I thought it was worth a shot. So for a couple of years, I ended up using them. My credit limit went up immensely. I made all my payments with them. They actually got me to a point where I actually was at a certain level, I guess it's called diamond level or whatever, where I wasn't even having to pay a minimum payment for the first payments. It was just $0. I guess they started to believe and trust, with my history with them, that I was a loyal customer and that I would be able to pay it. So therefore, they would let me do it that way. Go back through my history. I recognize a lot of faults because me and my significant other use our cards together, and whenever we make purchases, we obviously approve them and we make the decision together. And there's been multiple charges on accounts that have already been paid off. That there was no extra reasoning for there to be a charge. And there was also charges coming off of one of our Amex cards that we had nothing was coming to us that we were purchasing that had that purchase number with our Amex card. And this last thing that really just kind of boiled over was for Christmas, I had purchased an iWatch for my significant other, my fiance, an iWatch 8 or whatever through Best Buy, and it was up to like maybe $600 altogether. And so I went ahead and I went on to the installment payments, paid the first amount. I think it was like 114 something, like every 2 weeks. Well, I was able to at least pay two or three of them, so I just went ahead and paid. Third payment, I was good. Even after making your first payment, you're still able to pick up your item, right? But after that third payment, I just wanted to get as much money down as possible, and then I'll make that fourth payment, 2 weeks later. And that 2 week later wouldn't actually occur until after the second and the third payments were already due. So really, my fourth payment wasn't due 2 weeks later. It was due in like a month, So that's where I was like, perfect. I'll give myself that opportunity to make that payment then. I got a confirmation from Afterpay, confirmation from Best Buy, And so I did the option to pick the item up because I just, with items like that, I don't like them being delivered. I like to have them being picked up so I can see it. And all of a sudden, I go to Best Buy, and they say, I give my order number. I haven't thinking nothing of it because I've done this before with Best Buy too with Afterpay, and they look at the order number. They're like, it's canceled. I don't know what happened, but it's a canceled payment. And I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, that makes no sense. And so I stepped aside real quick. I looked over on my phone, and sure enough, all my payments had cleared. All of them still said paid, paid, paid. And then the fourth one, I wanted even just to make double sure if that was an issue. So I went ahead and paid the fourth payment. I mean, I could have paid for, I didn't even really need Afterpay at that point, but I wanted to do it just to try it through there. So I went made that fourth payment, and nothing changed. Nothing changed. And at this point, I was stuck between a rock and a hard place because not only was Afterpay with their terrible, terrible customer service. I mean, I've seen some customer service that's been bad, but this is borderline like it's unethical. I feel because they have a phone number where you call where they say we've no longer set up a phone line system. You can email us, obviously, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So I emailed them and I attached probably about 4 to 5 different pieces of paper about about the about the sorry, my fiance just walked in real quick. Um, I attached also all the paperwork showing them that they all were paid. Here was my contract, and I got no response. And this was, and I did this every day for probably 4 days straight, every day. And all I would kept getting was an email, a very generic email that says it's every time you send an email, every time you send it to info@afterpay.com, it says, sorry to hear about your experience. Your complaint will be handled by one of our team members, and then we'll get back to you shortly, usually within the next 5 days, if not sooner. In the meantime, thank you for raising this concern. Your ticket number is so and so. So I figured, with an email like that and writing what I wrote, that I would be responded to a lot quicker. And I did not. And so I went back and forth with them for the past 4 or 5 days to get this settled. And nothing's come about it yet, still to this point. Best Buy, they're saying that Afterpay is waiting on the merchants to call back Afterpay, which I find very suspicious because I can get through to Best Buy, not a problem whatsoever. But yet, for some reason, Afterpay has an issue with getting through that merchant themselves. And I said, I'm not looking for like a refund. I'm looking for my item that I paid for. I don't want the refund. I want my item. And I reiterated that 2, 3 times. And they didn't even acknowledge it. They just said, we're working on it. We're working on it. And I think they tried giving me some bogus like coupon card for like my next purchase for like 10% off. And I was like, this is ridiculous, And it'd be one thing if I was a couple time user of Afterpay, but I've pretty much been at the highest level of rank you can get with them. Right. Also charging my significant other's bank account for things that we had even no idea what we were purchasing or what it was purchasing for. My significant other wrote down specifically these different payments, and I double checked them to make sure that it wasn't something that I used. And they I can't come up with an answer for that for them, or for her. So it's it's crazy. And now looking at the number now, it's up to $1,091.91. She went through all of her history on her Amex, and another card that we used, and it shows Afterpay charges for all of these. And I went back to my account and looked at it to see if those were like concurrent charges with anything that I had purchased, and there was no correlation. And it was, yeah, starting back. Looks like it started actually just this month too, just this once month. Yeah, started on the 7th and it ended on the 12th. So, and they've charged my significant other's card for $1,091.91. Yeah, and that's all the info she has wrote down and told me to bring and show you guys of what Afterpay has done. Quite honestly, to either allow the purchase that was paid for and charged and taken out of the account that I have, where I'm $572 negative. I would really like to get the item. Is what I stressed her to them the most. The item prior than the money, you know. But if there's no other way to do it, I will take my refund and then go elsewhere. But the thing is with that item specifically is it's becoming lesser and lesser to find because it's around Christmas time. So that is what I would like to see come from that. And then with my significant others, I simply just want to know an explanation what these charges are and where do they come from? Because maybe we're wrong. I don't know. But my significant other is very good about keeping track of her money, as am I. If I get an explanation from them in writing, and a breakdown of this, because again, they let you use an attachment to your email. So I attached my email with this, and so they can go back and look at their records and see why was this number on this card charged 36.48, 4 payments of it, all that stuff. So that's what I would like to have happen, and ultimately refund it.